Hello again, everybody, and welcome to IPLCast 9, reporting from a very, very, very chilly Sydney. Joining you is the usual admin crew. You've got myself, Kamata, aka Reverse G, aka Gino, and with me, as per usual, are Athens and Rowan.
Hi guys.
Howdy.
And joining us again are our two regulars of the regulars. We've got Leviathan Ofuda and Lunik.
Hey guys, what's up?
Not cool.
Lunik, or as he's known in Australia, Lunyik.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get started. It's kind of busy in the Pokemon world right now, but we'll get to that. Let's kick off with our first headline.
First one up, mysterious message revealed. A mysterious direct message by Nintendo to influential Poke tweeters has turned out to be a viral marketing call. A massive package arrived for each of them containing merchandise from the to-be-opened PokemonCenter.com. The style is now open in light mode and sells merchandise that used to be only available in the Japanese Pokemon centers. Unfortunately, the store only ships within the US.
Yes, Nintendo.
Hey.
Rob,
You and I gotta
Rob,
talk.
best friend.
Nintendo, as I know you're trying to strengthen international relations by forcing us to talk to our U.S. friends and make them ship Pokemon stuff to us. But this has got to stop sooner or later. I am not happy about the prospect of having to pay $100 to get like really good EV key rings shipped over this way, and U.S. to Australia shipping isn't cheap either. So please do me a freaking favor. You're in Asia Pacific. Open the store in Asia Pacific. It's a growing market. I have Pokemon stuff. I'm sending a guy to Japan solely so I can send him stuff to buy for Pokemon. That's not true. He's going to Japan for other reasons, but the reason in my mind is that we're going to give him a giant box and a list of things to get and some money. And he's going to ship us boxes of Pokemon stuff because you won't sell it to us directly. Thank you, Nintendo. Okay, anyone else?
Anyone else want to rant?
I'll need to check this site myself to see if there's a Klefki key ring.
Oh,
I want one of those. That'd be great.
The site has been on and off because it's, like I said, it's been in light mode. Oh, no, hold on. I believe they've taken it down again.
What?
Yeah, it's gone down again.
No.
So yeah, the site is testing in light mode right now. I believe it's launching July 18th. I'm just gonna have to confirm that. But yeah, you can order it. Excuse me. Ow.
You're right.
I have no idea why that ow. Okay, so
He heard himself
I
stretch
believe
this morning. It was pretty funny.
I'm old. All right. So yeah, it's going to be opening. It's opening in August 6th. The package that these guys got for responding with their address to Nintendo, I believe included a really cool looking special delivery Pikachu.
Yeah.
A really sleek black metallic water bottle, a Pikachu
Water
bottle thingy. They've got a a Pikachu iPhone 5S case. What was the other one? A hardcover Pikachu themed lined notebook. And what really got me in a tiffy is a signed postcard by the president of the Pokemon Company. Yeah. So, not happy, Nintendo. We always get the the Philippines is quite fine. They get the U.S. releases relatively the same time that they release, plus 1 or 2 weeks. With the worldwide release, I wasn't fussing as much, but yeah, we're steered to Europe release dates because it hasn't occurred to people that we don't live in Europe anymore. Except for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you did us a solid there by syncing us up with the U.S. release. After realizing that we don't actually need the extra language sets. Thank you, Nintendo. Anyone else would like to rant?
Nah,
We've got
I'm
some merchandise pictures in the group chat here.
I know they've got evolution charms. I want those.
Mm.
I know that there's a
liking that
Pikachu plush available.
Pikachu book, it looks nice.
The Mewtwo tumbler they have on the site right now, I want.
Mm.
Just because Pokemon Center has a habit of selling things that I would actually put out in public without being accused of being a kitty fiddler or something like that.
Okay.
Like, did you guys see that Pikachu water bottle? The little thermos thingy?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
That is freaking amazing. It's just sleek black, but it's got Pikachu designs embossed on it.
Yeah.
So before I end up ranting the whole way through this thing, let's just say, Rob,
You're
can
going
you
to have a
calculate-
lot of friends, Rob.
we love you, Rob. We'll calculate shipping costs, Rob. Send us your PayPal address. Send us your PayPal email, Rob. Okay. We'll make things happen, Rob. Okay. Oh, okay. Next headline, please.
Next headline. The Pokemon US Nationals are on. As this goes to air, the Pokemon TCG and VGC US Nationals are taking place in Indianapolis, Indiana. The winners of this tournament will be at the forefront of their country's attempt to win the Pokemon World Cup Championship in Washington, D.C. In August. The entire event will be streamed live on Twitch, and the commentary team is composed of some veterans to the Nationals as well as some prominent YouTube Poke personalities.
I was meant to strike through World Cup, but yeah, I didn't realize I had not done a strike through on that yet. So, sad face, the U.S. is no longer in the World Cup. Happy face, apparently the U.S. are a really strong team this year in the Nationals. So yeah, it's currently on Twitch. Has anyone watched Day One?
No.
Nah,
Okay,
I haven't.
all right. I believe the brunt of the really good stuff will be happening midway through tomorrow our time, but July 5th Rob's time, and then that's continuing through until the Sunday. Some really good stuff planned in. I believe they're doing tournaments that include the previous rotation and the next rotation of the TCG, and generally it's being conducted the same way as the Worlds are usually conducted.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, when we say prominent YouTube Poke personalities, we're generally including the Jay Witz, I think, who got who's covering the TCG. Plus hold on. Plus a whole bunch of there we go. Plus a whole bunch of finalists and competitors, people who've retired as well, I believe, doing commentary. So yeah, it's cool. At least to get an insight on what the current metagame is in the US.
I'll have to check that out. It looks interesting. I never end up watching those things. I always forget about it.
Well, now you know, so you can you can watch it after you do your dailies. All right, let's move on to the next headline.
Next headline, Pokemon Symphonic Evolutions announced. Pokemon have announced an orchestral tour of the series' music, with the first concert taking place the Friday before the Worlds in DC. A second concert will take place in September in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. There is no word on additional cities or if they plan to take this concert overseas, but we at IPL HQ are ever hopeful.
Oh yes, it's like we will we will starve to get tickets. I think for this. By we, I mean particularly me. But yeah, there's going to be a Pokemon Symphonic Evolutions concert in Washington D.C. The Friday before the Worlds kick off properly, and then the people of Philadelphia, who for some reason have been graced by the goodwill of Nintendo and the Pokemon Company International, they're getting a concert. But yeah, we don't know if this is going to go to any other cities. I'm surprised New York, LA, San Fran, Seattle didn't get dates assigned to them. I'm annoyed that, I don't know, Sydney didn't get a date. At least even Melbourne. But I mean, taking this overseas is a generally large undertaking. So yeah, it's interesting. It's probably going to sound a lot like if you guys have actually heard what this faces Pokemon Reorchestrated.
Yeah.
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 That would be cool.
I think it's good. Yeah, it's going to generally fall within that vein. Looking forward to it. By the way, did anybody else realize that Scotteen's released more albums?
Really?
Yeah, he's I think he's brought out. There's the Kanto Symphony. I think he's brought out a particular suite of battles for like double battle suite music or something like that. I'm not sure what else was released, but yeah, he's definitely had more than one. I only just realized this not too long ago.
Oh, orchestrating music, it is so beautiful.
It's look, I listened to his stuff for weeks. I think after I got the after the album launched.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. Double Team. By Pokemon Reorchestrated.
Alrighty.
A whole bunch of other things.
Sweet.
There's something called the Lost Diaries, I think, which is extra music.
Interesting.
Yeah. We'll have to bring this up later in another IPL cast. But anyway, let's move on to our next headline.
Okay, next headline. Battle of Legends online competition announced. A Battle of A Battle of Legends competition has been announced for all owners of Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. There are nearly no eligibility rules. All Pokemon are allowed except Diancie, and will take place in double battles with a combined maximum of 2 legendary/mythical Pokemon allowed in the battle box. Registration opens on Thursday, July 17th, and you'll need to have created a Pokemon Trainer Club account prior to signing up.
So, to anyone who hasn't created a Pokemon Trainer Club account yet, how are you using how are you using all of Pokemon's online functionality?
Easy. I'm not.
Okay.
I really should do that, to be honest.
Yeah. So if you're already using Pokemon's all of Pokemon's online functionality, like the GTS, not GTS, but what's it called? Dream World. Yeah, PGL
Global
now.
Link. Global
There
Link.
we go. So if you're using Global Link at all, you will need to have had a Trainer Club account. That's what's considered your login for those services. So if you have it, then you can register for this competition when registration opens. I believe, as with all competitions, they might be limiting this to the first several thousand people who join in. It's usually limited to around 50,000. But yeah, it's really good. It's a nice competition of free for all kind of proportions. You can literally put your entire team of legendaries up if you've ever felt like fielding legendaries, and put them on to battle. So yeah, if you play Pokemon at all and you're interested in getting a little bit more replayability out of that game, then guess what? Online competition.
I'm expecting a lot of Power Herb Xerneases to make an appearance in this one.
Yeah.
Kyogre's
And
back pass.
Mewtwo's. Oh, Kyogre. He rules the doubles metagame, apparently.
Wow.
Really?
It's gonna get double stick.
It's one part drizzle, one part because of the fact that it's drizzle in combination with
Water spout.
Yeah.
So then you stack the drizzle and the stab and his special attack and the sheer power of water spout, and it's like, oh, what do I do? Oh, I die.
And then helping hand.
Okay.
It's a good combination. I'd like to see how that works out when we get access to the Primal Kyogre.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it won't be called the Uber's metagame anymore. It'll be called the Primal Kyogre metagame. I'll show you that.
All right. Anybody planning to enter this competition?
I don't think my Pokemon are up to it. I still only have my Magikarp.
Have you used Pokemon Bank recently?
I'm still correct.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
I can always try.
All right, Lunik, you try and let us know how you go, and we'll talk about it on IPLcast. All right, let's move on. Those are our external headlines. Let's jump right into our IPL news, because that's really what most people listen for, I would think.
Okay, first up, the Meander is continuing. The Meander is now deep into the second turn of Room 5, and it's awfully quiet. Are the adventurers planning a last-minute push, or will the ambush party succeed in taking out even more allies?
All right, we've got the two commanders of the adventuring party here with us on the on IPLcast. So you tell me what the hell is going on, because I've never seen Meander rounds go so damn quiet.
Well, I know
I was properly confused by the way that all week long, I'm going in to check on what's going on, and the Meander folder is empty.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us got smacked with stuff, or I don't know. I know I wanted to work on the Meander, but every time I sat down to do so, it was like pulling teeth at this point. And I know that we had a couple ideas pop up in the doc, but it's like, well, okay. I don't know where everybody is. They're probably on vacation, or
I think so too,
John. Here, I don't.
It's really strange. It's really weird for me that this coincides with the first time you guys actually took damage.
Yes.
I think we were all panicking a little bit too much about having. We thought initially that half of our entire army was going to get cut down, because he said 2 members of each of the army, and we're thinking, oh, does he mean 2 members of each of our 4 that we entered? Then when we found out it was just 2 total, we kind of like, oh, well, we've got this in the bag then. and then none of us actually moved.
Oh yeah, we're good. We can relax. Not
The
really.
microphone error.
Well, here's the thing. You're now at I believe you're now at the point where if you get hit the next time round, more people, well, more Pokemon are gonna get knocked out, and it's just gonna be it's just gonna go. Yeah, you're cresting the hill, as it were.
Yeah.
I might send a note out and just kind of ask if anybody's still working on their entries, because I know I still got what was left of what I was going to do the previous round, and I don't know.
I'm planning to submit when everyone else submits, so that
Yeah.
And then because
Well,
nobody
yeah,
submitted,
that's I suspected that everybody was actually in the planning stages of doing a massive submit and inundating the account with submissions that would take several days to process. But yeah, I'm getting the feel that I'm getting this the suspicion that there's no organization behind this at all.
no.
Okay.
Surprised how You'd be surprised.
Good luck to everyone for turn 3.
If it peps anyone up, immediately after this is a rest period, so...
Yay!
There's gonna be a decent break after this.
Hallelujah.
Because yeah, you will need it. I think it's I believe if you manage to make it all the way through without completely wiping your party, without a TPK, you'll get you'll have a rest break that combines as a revive room, so you can actually do revive submissions.
If
Yeah,
Thank
and
goodness.
then room 6.
oh
And
no.
then room 6.
Mm.
We keep hyping room 6. I think that I'm like one of the things that was passing around in my head. One of the ideas that one of the suspicions I had was that you guys didn't want to finish room 5 because we had hyped up room 6 too much. You're like, oh god, the horrors of room 6, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Does anyone want to do that?
Yeah, we just. I had a writer's block.
I know you're so
That's
close to
weird.
the end of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Oops.
I'm like, don't give up now. You're almost 70% of the way there.
I'm almost afraid that the cute contest tore people away, because it's like, oh, I want to do everything for the cute contest, and then, oops.
Yeah, I think with a lot of events at IPL, bar the last storyline mission, you get the sense that people start running out of steam midway.
Mm.
And then yeah, obviously all it takes is a giant 80-foot tall mecha attacking the island, and then suddenly everybody's excited again.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. Good luck to everybody on turn 2. This may mark the first time we go to turn 3.
Maybe.
You guys, yeah, you have
Maybe.
4 hours. 4 hours roundabout. Sorry, it's 4 days roundabout 3 hours.
It was actually for us.
I say.
Sorry, it wasn't. Didn't mean to shock you there. Yeah, 4 days. 4 days. 4 days, 2 hours, 49-ish minutes.
Oh, dear.
Don't scare us like that.
Calm down.
Oh, dear.
I'm trying not to. Okay, it's just that I'm very surprised. All right.
You're very old and
Thank you.
confused.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me that I am by far still the oldest person on this webcast. Okay, by a mile. Just wanted to share with everybody the concept image we have for the group thing.
Ah, yeah.
Graciously made by Rowan. Yay!
Yay!
Cute.
It's a nice whole heap of adorable waiting to go into a dungeon. So yeah, I like solidified more ideas about this. I think the general IPL, um, I think the general IPL Council might have a meeting after the next IPL cast to discuss a few more solid stuff. But yeah, generally all conversation about the upcoming group has been fairly quiet because we're taking our damn time.
Yep, yep.
All right. Let's move on to our next IPL headline.
Cute contests and beauty contests. Judgment of the cute contest has concluded. Congratulations to our first place winner, Getsunia Yokami. I cannot pronounce your name, I'm so sorry. The beauty contest is about halfway over. Looking forward to seeing some truly elegant Pokemon within the IPL's ranks. We got one entry tonight. Unfortunately, it's not unfortunate that it's Protodramon, but Protodramon mentioned that they had an unfortunate meeting with the ground. So it's now in the shop and they're leaving for a 2-week vacation, which is unfortunate. But what they did submit was pretty cool. I did like it. Beauty contest.
Righto. Good luck to everybody participating in the beauty contest.
Yes. I'm eager to see what you have. And then, I don't know, later we could do an analysis on the cute contest. If we want.
Yeah. We could. Probably.
We'll definitely do stuff for the contest. Okay. Anything you want to tease people with regards to the contests?
Well, my hand's already laid out on several of the journals. I will admit that I've been telling people that one of my main inspirations for wanting to do an art-themed beauty contest is because I was watching Face Off. And one of the themes was to take an art movement, a modern art movement, and then make a character, makeup, whatever, that would have lived in that artistic style. And it was specifically the contestant Laura's cubist piece that was the main inspiration. And she did this wonderful bilateral split of a red and blue character.
Yeah,
and that one was just
that was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. It was artistic and beautiful. And honestly, I thought she was gypped in her premiere season, to be honest. But that's just me. I didn't see the end of the other season. Anyways, that was the main reason I wanted to say art. And then I threw in the beach scene because it's summertime here, and why not?
Okay. All right. So before we move on to art analysis, because we're covering a very specific, battle. I did say in the previous IPL cast that we would be doing an art analysis on a work that recently appeared at Marlowe's Meander. So we might as well do it now. I'm about to show a work by Mission Sunshine, what I consider to be the standout visual piece from Turn 5.
Oh, yes.
This one.
Oh, wow.
No.
Colored pencil.
Yeah, very effective use of it, too.
I just love how vibrant he can get his colors with pencil.
Oh, she's wonderful. She's wonderful with them. I love them. I'm so envious of her skill with them. It's like, oh my god. and nothing feels lifeless. They're all completely on model, but they're all so full of life and energy and movement, and I just
Okay. Does
Like
anyone else want to comment on it before Rob spends the entire cast fawning over this piece?
I'm really impressed with it, to be honest. I love the perspective. There's just a lot of energy in this. Like, this is one of the sort of things that you could just spend a long time looking at just to get all of the detail.
Anything I bring out is going to be a nitpick because as far as compositions go, color choice, use of media, perspective, no, Mission Sunshine gets the whole thing dead on.
Mm.
The shading is beautiful. That the darkness, the light, everything. It's brilliant.
So I'm not going to be all too surprised if there's if the People's Choice vote comes in and Mission Sunshine wins round 5. But hey, I'll leave it up to the voters. But oh my gosh, this piece looks amazing.
Mm.
It is. It is.
she's one of those
I think.
people
Hmm.
that artists. I know that I would pull the artist. I would eat their soul just to take their skill. But that's kind of mean. But the sentiment remains.
I'm probably going to keep the idea of the Super Cultist Bros alive for something in the adventure group. Because man, the Super Cultist Bros were just the introduction was just good.
Yeah.
Super cultist bros. Trademarked.
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna no one was planning to call it Super Cultist Bros, and then Rowan goes ahead and names this Super Cultist Bros, and I'm like, okay.
I am a genius.
Like some of the gear placement is genius as well. Like the Bravia holding daggers is just what?
Well, I had to do something with it.
Well, I'm actually terrified of Darabia with daggers. Are you kidding me? You're a bird of prey. You've got a wingspan, and then you look and then, oh wait, you've got daggers. Oh Jesus!
No, they look like I was so impressed when I saw the finished work for Super Cultist Bros, and I'm like, man, I feel so guilty about having to knock these guys out, having them fight to the death with an adventuring party, because it's such a shame to let these guys go.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I remember, if you guys remember, there was a poll that came up in the Meander about who you should spare.
Yeah.
And I think the overwhelming response was no one.
We're reaching. I know, at least from my understanding, we're reaching the limit here because we stole one of the Glades and we changed its gender. Sorry. We stole one of the Glades and we're stealing the Venomnat. Poor Venomnat. It is now Carpin's Snugglebug.
Yeah, you guys have a habit of capturing your enemies, and then when the Super Cultist Bro shows up, it's like no mercy. I'm like, what? spare someone.
Never.
Hold on. Let me just look at the previous votes for this, because it's a whole bunch of what? Yeah, I think Ryua said none shall be spared. Roka Phoenix said, what is this word spare? Brasilia Cara says she'd spare all 6. Infinitely Uncanny said none of them. Blood for the Blood God, Bones for the Bone Throne. And Corn for the Cornflakes. But yeah, five people voted none of them. I think another like a party is racing up to vote for all to spare all of them, and I think the Hoot Hoot and the Mien Chow are the winners. The Wigglytuff and the Medicham come up last, and no one wants to save the Prinplup
Or the Staravia.
or the Staravia, the cool ass I have daggers in my claws Staravia.
That's exactly why we won't save him. He came at us with tiny little daggers, and he's actually intimidating. What the hey? No, we don't save the bird. We have squab for dinner.
So yeah, does anybody have any further comments about Mission Sunshine piece?
Andrea says she's still scared of the.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
All right.
Beautiful.
Slightly creepy. Anyone else?
Nah, I already said my piece.
Okay.
I think we're only gonna gush at this point.
Yep. So Mission Sunshine, we love you. We love all of you. Not creepy at all. Let's go to our art analysis and what's the battle?
Battle is 963. Let's see.
All right. This is between.
Roto Drummond versus
Andrea.
Trainer Andrea.
All right. Let's go switch it around and look at Trainer Andrea's piece first.
Yep.
Okay, and that's Trainer Andrea's piece. Now let's analyze the bleep out of it. No one?
I'm
No
gonna
one?
keep quiet. I judged. I'm gonna keep quiet because
I'm
I
just
judged
thinking.
it.
I like that she's included movement in this. I think that's a upgrade to I think the last one that we analyzed with her. You've also got more solid background, which has a good use of it uses blur for perspective, which is quite nice.
In my judgment, I mentioned that as far as backgrounds go, I believe this is her. I felt that this was her weakest one. The perspective is wonky. It really feels, in comparison to some of her previous battles, it feels kind of lacking. It what did I write? It's skewed, very skewed, weird, and very, very plain by comparison. I think it's a good idea, but it's positioned. But overall, the whole thing's positioned on the canvas kind of awkwardly, and this is something. This is unfortunately a trick that unfortunately I fell for a lot until I realized otherwise. When you're doing a stadium, you don't want to draw it curving the way like it is in this piece. It really looks very weird, and the perspectives that you would have to get to have it look like that don't match up with what you've got in the piece. In general, if you're going to be in a stadium, the walls are going to be very high, the stands are going to be very high. So in general, you're not going to see a whole lot of curving unless you're looking up at it or looking down. So it doesn't feel like her best background as far as movement goes. This one's beautiful. The movement and the action lines, she doesn't know how to do action lines. I beg to differ. This does show that she does have an idea of what action lines are capable of, and I think this is great in terms of movement, especially with Chestnut, and not really looking like he's swinging his arm, but use of the action lines makes it look like he is. And Chestnut, Blastoise, Torterra, Torkoal, they all share one thing in common in that they're very bulky and very hard to look like they're doing dynamic posing. So to make it look like it's moving even though it isn't is very much a step in the right direction.
Definitely.
I totally share your thoughts about the perspective, because the one thing that hit me is like, why are they fighting in a giant bowl? But yeah, it's not stadium like. The only giveaway that it's a stadium are the battle lines on the foreground.
I can agree with that, but then at the same time, I do like the use of blur for perspective. I think that's definitely an upgrade to her backgrounds in the past, in that sense at least, just because she usually just have the whole thing blurred. But in this case, it really does look like the stadium part, all the seating and stuff, is in the distance, even if it does look a bit wonky.
Yeah. Generally, people sitting in stadiums that far away from where the action is happening don't appear as single blurred dots in the distance. They meld together if they're people of the same skin color together. They kind of blur together in one solid bar at that distance. It's just the way light diffuses across distance. So yeah, if you're drawing people sitting next to each other, just draw the line across instead of trying to distinguish them as individual dots. Yeah, it'll make more sense because of the distance, and draw the dots smaller. Yeah. Otherwise it just looks like dots. The lighting's quite decent actually. I can appreciate the fact that she went through the effort of actually showing strong lights. But one of the other things that you should remember when there are strong lights, especially coming from multiple sources, is that strong lights create strong shadows.
Yeah, whenever you see a football field, it looks like they've got cross shadows, but there's 4 of them. That's because of the lighting.
Yeah. So yeah, that was one of the primary problems. If you guys remember that animated thing we had not too long ago, one of the primary problems was that there are over 300 lights shining on Athens, and there are only 3 strong shadows being cast. So that was an oopsie by me, but at the same time, it's kind of like they're all treated as one light source on the animation program. Sorry, they're all, like each set of lights is treated as one light source, so I had a bit of a problem there. But yeah, sorry, Rob. It still looked cool though.
It's alright. It's alright. Something one of my painting teacher did tell me, and when I was going through some of the realistic painting stuff, she said that it is okay to fake and make things up to make it look more like a better painting. So like even though it like I think of the example of the portrait, like what did I do? It's like something on her wasn't as defined, so I was rendering it just as it was, and she said maybe you could change the lighting and make it a little stronger, even though it's not like that in real life. It would bring the picture to look more interesting. So, like if you have 3,000 lights shining on somebody, but you do 3 main shadows, you know what? That's an okay simplification. Like it's like otherwise, I gotta draw 3,000 shadows now.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
So I think with regards to in additional regards to lighting, like I said, strong lighting creates strong shadows, and that just doesn't apply on the shadows on the ground. That applies to detail and where you shine light in. So medium to light lighting on a figure that's being shown on by stadium lights, you could probably get all around lighting, but it's not like you're still gonna get really sharp shadows. At certain points. At any point when any object is being concealed by another object in stadium lighting, that object is like heavily shaded.
Very dark. Right.
Almost black.
Pretty much almost black, yes.
So yeah, so be aware of the particular nature of where you render something. Like in this case, it's a stadium, because doing something with like stadium lights creates this cool effect, and you want to broadcast that effect in what you do as well when you're describing the action through your work. And so you don't just want to say, oh, here's a background I threw in together, and here are a couple of stadium lights, and it's a stadium. You less talk, more talk less, show more. So Show that it's a stadium. Don't just don't just visually describe the stadium in the sense that you have all of the stadium accoutrement and all of that stuff. Actually show how the stadium affects the lighting, affects the figures, and you'll properly put the two figures into that environment instead of just putting them in a backdrop. Because what will tend to happen is, if you don't take your environment into account when you're doing the work, is that they will be on a stage with a background. You might as well put them on a stage with a background.
Roll Paper Mario on it.
Yeah, essentially. Like you want you want the background. If you're doing something as cool as a stadium thing, you want the background to have as much of an influence on your subject.
Right.
To actually. Yeah, because it's like there's something to be said about, we can battle in the field of grass, but it's a different feel to battling in a stadium, right? There's tons of people cheering you on. There's really harsh lighting. It's different from a field of grass where you have to contend with the fact that it may be windy and there's grass flying around. It's a completely different feel. So yeah, you can essentially. There's so much potential in using the background in actually enhancing the action you show in the work.
Right.
So things to take on board.
Quick cheating. If you are really pressed for time and you really don't want to shade, something I picked up from photography. Overcast days don't have real shadows.
Yep.
If you ever take a picture during an overcast day, you won't see any shadows on anybody. If you need to really cut down your time because you're pressed for it, put your characters in a background that's overcast. Oh, also, because gray is a neutral color, you can probably mix that with your own palette and harmonize it well.
Yeah. I love overcast days.
They're beautiful for taking pictures.
Seriously, when I used to go on when I used to do photography for cosplay, we'd go out and it would be cloudy and gloomy. You're like, oh crap, and I'm like, yes, because it meant you didn't need to compensate for sunlight. Because the noonday sun in Sydney on a cloudless day casts stupid harsh shadows.
Yeah. It sucks.
So yeah, thanks for learning. Things to pick up.
On that note, though, I do really love the impact between the Pokemon attacks. Like, that does look really, really good.
Yes.
No, those look great.
There's just a lot of movement in that tail, too. I love that.
A comment, though. The Chestnut seems like it's swinging its arm. It seems like it won't hit the Umbreon.
If you look at the motion lines, though, like normally when you punch forward, this pose wouldn't work for like a forward punch just because it looks stiff and there's no power in it. But because the motion lines are showing that it's swinging its arm from the side, that would generally be how that looks. So I can see that working. Especially if the Umbreon's swinging its tail up to intersect with it. I can imagine it would normally miss the Umbreon, but with the way the Umbreon's swinging its tail, it would sort of impact that.
Did it jump? Did the Chestnut jump?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
No.
The action lines are kind of throwing me off a bit on the arm.
Yeah.
If you're drawing somebody swinging down with their arm, draw a circle. Create a layer with a circle where the center of your circle is the shoulder, and that'll give you the swing arc of your arm.
I see it as it's sort of an angle though, not necessarily just straight down.
Is it?
Like
It's hard to.
The lines taper.
It's hard to place It's just hard to place the arm in the original position of the action line. But this is more a nitpick than anything. It throws me off because when I see action lines, part of me goes back to where the original motion was and then replays the action in my mind.
Makes
so
sense.
Unless it looks like the chestnut shifted position, so that maybe what's throwing me off is
What
there's
it
not
looks
much
like actually is that it's jittering from an impact.
That's
Impact with
true,
the iron tail.
but that still doesn't explain the arc of its left arm. But this is a nitpick. It's
I
the
don't have
action
much
line.
complaint with the arm arc, to be honest. I think it looks
The
okay.
it's for the most part it's fine. It doesn't really throw you off the action. It was just weird for me because the origin of the action seems like a place the arm wouldn't really realistically or more or less be at.
Mm.
But the conclusion of the action, where it hits, where it collides, and the them showing the impact of the action, really good.
Mm. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I think the way to fix that would be the movement lines for the arm is to just have it curve more towards the chestnut at the very edge of it, rather than that nice gentle curve. I reckon that would fix it.
Yeah, like I said, if it's a downward swing, you use that circle. Again, if you use the shoulder at the epicenter of your circle and you transform the circle or you adjust it, like if you transform it and pretending that the rear end is moving further back in space, then you can generate a decent swing arc from pretty much any angle all the way down to the horizontal.
Mm.
So that's Trainer Andrea's work. Any other thoughts, folks?
Oh,
I like
I've
how
said
she used
No.
the Warhammer.
Okay, now that we've analyzed the leap out of that particular piece, let's analyze Protodramon's piece thus. Okay.
First off, I'm going to start off. Where does your eye go immediately in this piece, guys?
that
I can see
big
the
purple glowy
purple
ball.
thing.
Exactly.
What is that? What is that?
Shadow ball.
I think,
It was
yeah.
supposed to be
Oh,
shadow
whoa.
ball.
it's
See, that
it's
was
the
my
opacity
main
of
problem.
Shadow Ball kind of threw me off.
I can
That's
see that
the-
it's Shadow Ball. I mean, there's not many other Pokemon attacks that would look like that. But then it's kind of hard to tell where it's moving or exactly where it is in the picture, because it looks like it's heading towards the trainer, or the trainer's sort of shooting at himself or something.
My main problem was that is the focal point. And I'm 95% sure that was not the intention. And I'm also pretty sure that this is an unfortunate accident. I just repeated myself. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired. The Shadow Ball, this is my main critique in this piece, is that is our focal point. And unfortunately, it's not detailed enough to really keep our attention, but everything in this piece is pointing right at the Shadow Ball. The spikes on Chestnut. The Chestnut's looking right up at the Shadow Ball. The Umbreon's, got his face right next to the Shadow Ball. And then Roland is right there coming from the Shadow Ball. Everything is going to the Shadow Ball. And because it is contrasted in that very vibrant purple, very dark purple, compared in the rest of the piece is majority, Chestnut and his bright colors, this is unfortunately the big eye suck there.
Did you notice that it's probably because it's the highest contrast item in the work?
Mm.
Yep. Exactly that.
It does look like Roland bowled the thing.
Yeah.
The like Roland's it looks like a victory pose, I would suppose, but yeah, I bowl like that. That's my end pose after I bowl something. My hand is lifted up in the air because I'm left-handed, and whatever unfortunate projectile just rolled down the alley is around it. I'd say that it's extremely unfortunate that that's the case. It's a solid color item surrounded by a high contrast ring, surrounded by a dark contrast ring, and honestly, that's why they have them on planes. Like that sort of thing, putting low contrast, high contrast, low contrast is guaranteed to take your eye away from anything else in the picture. It's all you can focus on.
Mm.
And then
It,
there isn't
Black
really
hole.
anything to look at while you're there. Because almost every depiction of Shadow Ball that I've seen outside, every depiction of Shadow Ball I've seen has had the little glowing electrical lines in it, or making it look like a plasma orb, or just
I don't remember the core of Shadow Ball being that opaque. I reckon if it was slightly even transparent enough that I could see through the middle of the Shadow Ball, I wouldn't be focusing on it as much. But it's a solid circle of color.
yeah.
Trini Andrea says she didn't even notice the shadow ball when she looked at the picture the first time.
It might be because like the Pokemon take up more of the real estate. But it's down to color priority. Like for a lot of people, if you're looking at this like at a glance, the first thing you'll notice is the two Pokemon on the lower right side, and then almost as an afterthought, you'll see the Shadow Ball, and then like me right now, you'll fixate on the Shadow Ball.
Mm.
Yep.
Just because of Eye of Movement, even if you do look at the Pokemon first, once you get to that Shadow Ball, there's just really nowhere else to go.
Maybe Roland, but even then, he's kind of right.
Yeah, he takes you straight out of the picture.
Mm.
Just noticed something funny. The grass looks like my signature.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
I do agree. See, the only reason it's unfortunate that the Shadow Ball takes up so much attention when you're actually looking at the piece is because there is some good stuff in this piece. I do like how Chestnut's drawn. I really do.
It's got a good, the chestnut looks amazing, to be honest. I absolutely love that. The line art looks great, and the foreshortening is amazing on his arms. Like, I'm really impressed with that chestnut.
Yeah, the pink nose. Andrea pointed out the pink nose. It's so cute. You could whoop it. But,
and the picture itself also has a good sense of depth. Like, Roland really does look like he's in the background, and all the grass looks like it's a lot further away. So it doesn't look all squished up in that sense.
Looking at it when it's zoomed up out in thumbnail mode in my end, you don't really notice the Shadow Ball. But like I said, once you're actually looking at the piece, which is what judges will do,
sorry.
Then, yeah, you're gonna run into trouble.
Another thing, this might seem a little nitpicky, but Umbreon's forepaw doesn't match his back paws at all, and it's really awkward.
Back paws look like cute little.
Like
they don't match. You gotta keep some consistency within your work, and this is not something that I find all that often in people's pieces when I judge them. But if I do notice a discrepancy between how things are drawn, I will point it out, even if it doesn't come out the right way.
Yeah.
Again, it's not common, but it does happen. You kind of do need to keep your eye out for that, otherwise it's not going to look too good, especially if you're going to move forward. Now, otherwise, Chestnut looks great. Umbreon needs a little work.
It's kind of nitpicky, but the other side of Umbreon's legs aren't really shaded, and that's kind of irritating me a bit since it's behind.
With animals, when legs are behind like that, you usually have them completely cast in shadow, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. That is kind of irritating. Ooh.
Still fixated on the Shadow Ball. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we go back to the Shadow Ball.
So beautiful. It just strikes me as really weird that there are a few inconsistencies with the chestnut. The chestnut is a standout. Chestnut and Roland, I would say, are the two standouts of this piece.
The background's not bad either.
No, not at all.
Background. Like, you don't notice it because once you're looking at it, hi, Shadow Ball.
Yeah.
Seriously, my
So then,
Another
signature
thing
is
is
there.
just what the shadow ball's doing and where it's moving. So a good way to fix that is the glowy bit around it. You could just pretty much just stretch it out in the direction it's moving from, and that would just essentially show the path that it's going. Because shadow balls tend not to just hover; they're always being shot at something, even just immediately after it's created, essentially.
Or if it's a little bit messier.
right, says the guy who has made an art out of using line art and
Messy
squiggling and
An art
All
out of
right, calm
symbols.
down. Simmer down.
Well, that's the thing, though. It doesn't matter how messy it is. If it looks great, then it looks great.
Exactly. And again, there are a lot of good things in this piece. It's just a very unfortunate composition choice that. Oh, it's so unfortunate.
All right, let's discuss some any more positive things, because we're kind of like I realized that we spent the last we spent the first 2 minutes of this piece talking about the shadow ball when there are four things in the foreground. Sorry, three things in the foreground. Let's
I really must stress how nice that chestnut looks. Like, I'm really
Chestnut
impressed with those arms. It does look
Looks like
beautiful.
a puppy.
Yes, that.
Yeah. And I do want to point out the background. It is within perspective and it is good. They have everything placed with proper depth, as Roan has said. There is a lot of excellent work here, and the perspective and the background is quite wonderful. And I'm quite pleased with it, especially because they used solid colors for all of it, and it works. Line art's clean, that really can't ask for more on that. It's great.
All right, any closing words about this? Now, Rob, I'm just gonna let you have the last word on this because it's a battle you judged.
I think, well, number one, I think both pieces did great. And I know that there is a lot of great things in both of them, and the chestnuts in both are exemplary. I really do think that this is a good piece for Proto-Dramon, and that there is a lot of great in it. Do not misunderstand me. I really do like this piece, and there is a lot of great things in it. The chestnut, I can't get over it, but I'm repeating myself.
All right, so I'm not really spoiling anything by saying that Trainer Andrea won this match. But I think without the composition problem, would you say that Proto-Dramon would have had a stronger piece? Not stronger than Trainer Andrea, it's just stronger in general.
I think yes. Honestly, I don't think it would have been as detrimental as a problem as it was if the shadow ball was more fitting as a focal point. I think that is my main problem. Is that was my main problem in judging the two pieces, in that between the two of them, I had to look at them as compositions and pieces, and unfortunately, when I look at Proto-Dramon's, I go right to the shadow ball, and there's nothing for the eye to do while you're there. I suggested in my critique that some very simple detail would have helped a lot in that, and I think it would have if the energy was there. If there was minute detail there, it would have created an actual focal point, and it might have actually led us back into the piece. But as it stands, it's a sink.
Yeah.
Would it have beaten Andrea's? I don't know. I think they would have both been very strong. It might have, because of Andrea's background, but I can't say.
Well,
Because,
yeah, I don't think I was making you get to that point, but yeah,
right,
in general, if he could have done something to the Shadow Ball to make it stronger, I reckon it would have presented itself a lot as a stronger piece. Whether or not it would have been Trainer Andrea is moot,
right. But
as
I
we
think,
don't actually speculate on the what ifs of the of concluded battles. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I would think that it would, like, making it a better focal point, making it not the focal point at all, um, would have moved it towards being a stronger piece. As it is, it's plain, but it's plain, but it invites your eye in the same way that the Target logo invites your eye,
right,
Mm.
because it's the Target logo in purple.
yes.
All right. Anybody else? Now that's the end of our art analysis for this IPL cast.
Is there anything anyone wants to request us to do?
I suppose we could do one more. I'm going to see if I can grab another piece from any of the previous.
Maybe one that didn't get yeah, one that wasn't judged.
All right, let's see if I can find anything here that's a primarily critique piece. We've done that. We've done that. We've done that. How many IPL casts have we done? Okay. Hold on. Have we done Itazura's work?
I don't think we have.
Okay. In that case, let me just get the image and there we go. Let's talk.
Pet peeve.
It's pretty.
I think what hurts the most is, even though the poses show that there's some movement in a lot of attacks, you don't really see it.
There's
It,
that. I do think that the stain border corner bits are good. I do like what they were doing with the icing. I do like that they are having Frostlass's eyes and her little crystal bits glow for that. I have a pet peeve when it comes to using the actual game health bars in cases like this. It's difficult to use them properly. It's a mild pet peeve.
Yeah. Generally, when you're drawing a picture, you want the picture itself to show who's winning and who's being hurt and that sort of thing. By resorting to using the little health bars, you're essentially saying that your picture itself isn't getting it across that the Umbreon is losing, essentially. So it's something that you want to show with the action, with the posing, with... You could probably demonstrate that by showing injuries on the Umbreon if you really wanted to, or show that it's being beaten back or stuff like that. But it's generally a good idea to do it that way. Like, you want to show what the situation is rather than explaining it to us with that sort of stuff.
Yeah, going back to the original thing regarding the stadium, it's show don't tell. Show us, don't
like
tell us that the health bar is down. Show us that the health bar, show us that it's at half health.
If you do use it, there are a few situations where you can use it. The biggest example I can think of is for dramatic effect. Like, if you're using it but you need to show that this is a one-hit KO punch, it's breaking the health bar, or if you can cleverly hide it in the background so it doesn't seem like you're breaking the fourth wall just for it to happen.
Yeah, like on a stadium screen.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you remember, was it Origins displays the health bars of Pokemon, even though they're properly battling, and it shows it on a display. It doesn't have that little thing hovering above their head saying this is your health.
Right. Pokemon contests in the anime with the characters that can't seem to learn a darn thing. They were based on points, and they had meters there because you couldn't tell otherwise who was winning or losing because of points, but they had them on a screen for everybody to see. And then, there is the, you could go with the augmented reality theory, but again, that's a little tricky to pull off, and again, it involves breaking the fourth wall, and unless you're doing it unless you're breaking the fourth wall quite deliberately and making it obvious the fourth wall doesn't exist, then you gotta be careful with it.
All right, I have it's gonna come across as potentially bad. So, Kazakut, if you're listening, I'm really sorry if it comes off really arrogant or anything, but I need to ask: is there a third dimension in this work?
Yeah, that is another. It sounds arrogant in it.
Yeah, it sounds. Yeah. It's. You want to be able to there are all of these giveaways that they might not be flat, but it's not supported by the world they live in.
One of the things that does have to flip in an artist's mind to really switch them from beginner artist to artist, I guess is the proper term, but you have to think of your pictures as really a look into a third world that actually exists. You're not trying to draw a two-dimensional flat piece of paper. You're trying to draw a three-dimensional world. What you're trying to do is either recreate or create something that has dimension, that is a world, that if you took that piece of paper and did a chalk zone and you put your hand into the piece of paper, it would go into the paper and it would go into the world itself. It's not. You're trying to draw a three-dimensional world. You're not trying to draw a two-dimensional world. There are some people who make their art out of being extremely super flat, but they also have an understanding of what it takes to make it a 3D world and then turn that flat, as opposed to starting off flat and staying flat the entire way through.
I've seen people who do super flat and they remain consistent to super flat. In other words, all elements of the world, including the subject, remain consistent to the world they live in. And this is perhaps my thing with regards to this. There's three-dimensional shading, and every effort to show that, hey, they're not flat, but nothing else supports the fact that they're not.
And then by having the health bars there, it doesn't really say they are in a world.
Yeah.
It's like we're looking at a screen. We're not really we're looking at a drawing of a screen, not necessarily a drawing of the world that they're in. And it sounds arrogant, but
it comes off as a little pretentious, because it's like saying maybe you should practice in the third dimension or some such, when you might not be at that level yet. But the thing to understand is, if you're going to do a work and you have to understand your limitations, and you can't presume beyond those limitations. Okay? If you can push it beyond to a third dimension, go for it. Experiment with it. Allow the critique to happen. That's fine. You're improving. But if you're going to stick to, if you're going to put elements that put you in a flat scale, stick to flat. Like keep it keep it within the realm, or at least do something when you try and pop it out in, like, say 2.5D, that like it's really appealing. There's justification for what you're doing, and there isn't. I don't see it in this piece. I might be completely missing the point here, but I definitely don't see it in this piece. I mean, if these two, if these two are full 3D, right, sticking out slightly in the flat two-dimensional world they live in, why is the beam flat?
Yeah.
It's I mean, like, you know, Kazakun's done some decent work before. It's just, this is, you want to, I would say that you want to look at this piece and go, what can I really push with the next time round? Because it doesn't reflect as well on your capabilities if you're doing this, and it's not really, you know, you're not really showing what you can do. Granted, granted, you're, like, the opponent didn't really submit an entry. Misha Spooks didn't submit an entry, so you won this by default. But yeah, it's not like, yeah. It's not like it's not going to be looked at. It's still a deviation on DeviantArt. It still will be looked at, and yeah.
I can't really add anything to that.
Okay. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, Kazakh won fight for that particular run. I didn't mean to rant off on you there. I'm just saying, look, this would have been otherwise a really good piece. Just work on it. Keep working on it. All right. I'm going to pull something out from the let's see. Yes, I'm going to pull something out from the third room. Unfortunately, I don't think I can go full view on this, so you're just going to have to live with it. Okay, thoughts, people.
Oh, hey, it's this thing.
Yay!
Look at that. I don't know what to say.
Cool.
I just thought it was, you know, we for like the first 3-4 rooms, like, we always had a video game reference or a game reference to it, and I just thought, you know, this is it. This was another installment, and it was great. Yankee the night, and with Fuda for convenience.
I love the fact that you outright grabbed the map as well. That was a really, really good touch.
Yeah. Thanks.
But yeah, this is what it feels like when we do Titan and Final Fantasy XIV. A whole bunch of running around the circular stadium.
No, please.
And yes, the attack it till it dies is pretty much par for the course.
Yeah.
Alright.
I love the little chat window. That's really nice.
The chat window is a little something extra, so I can add more cameos to it without actually drawing them.
Clever.
Nice.
Did you just hodgepodge the system together? Because it feels like a mix between the when you're referring to MP pots, I instantly think RO.
Yeah. yeah, it was a hodgepodge of online games.
Yeah, because you put in like what the PlayStation controller thing as well, and that instantly triggered, you know, Final Fantasy to me, because that's the control system. But It just, wow. Okay. I'm like, if we ever pull off a massive one boss raid, one boss battle like we did in this particular concept shot, then we are set. That group is set for gold.
Mm.
Heal, please. I think I can read somebody slamming on the left side of the keyboard. Yeah.
I really did
All right. Well,
Can I do?
looks like you're falling asleep, so we better end IPLcast while you're still conscious.
Yes.
All right. So that's IPLcast 9 from so far. Next round of IPLcast will be our 10th IPLcast anniversary.
Yay. Happy 10.
Yay! Yay! And then as soon as we actually surpass the number of original IPL radio episodes, we'll chuck something through.
How many was that?
There were 23 episodes, including all of the after-hours stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I just it's a shame this thing only came up. So hold on, it's a shame the I think screen share and so that was screen share doesn't work and all of that stuff. It's a crying shame because I just discovered this thing.
Oh.
Nice.
Yep. So I realize that this is a tool available to everyone who does the Hangout, so I'm kind of worried now. So if anybody has any suggestions, not of stuff to draw on my head or face, but of anything else, you can comment on youtube.com/teamipl. I think it is. Yes. And you can go on to
Oh, it didn't work.
you can go on to the-ipl.deviantart.com and comment there as well. We'll have all previous shows available there. If you have anything to comment, just note us, message us on the group or whatnot. And if you have any suggestions on art analysis or what these people should draw on my face, just say so. So yeah, before this goes completely downhill, we're concluding IPLcast 9. Thank you, everybody. Oh, the humanity! This is going. Oh no! What are you doing?
I could draw the worst thing right now, but this is PG.
Could draw the worst thing. Right? Can you just wait until after we conclude? All right. Oh God. Bye, everybody. Thanks for IPLcast. We'll see you next time. Oh, dear.
They're still drawing Pac-Man.
I'm a cornucopia of vandalism right now. I'm just gonna keep moving my head so it's harder for you to draw. I have another line to go to. All right, everybody, catch you on IPLcast 10.
All right. Bye.
Bye.